So bless me, welcome on the newest member of Syracuse, Symir Torrence. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Pretty good. Well, you just made the big news. You're coming back home, get to play in front of your family, represent one of the bigger blue bloods of this entire country right now in Syracuse. How are you feeling right now, though?
I'm feeling good. I feel blessed. Just thankful for this opportunity, and
Mhm.
can't wait to get started.
And we know the transfer portal is constantly growing right now. It's crazy this year. We know it's going to be a record year, but you're already out of this portal. You already made your decision. You're out of it. But what was it just being a part of this whole movement, kind of switching around and going to this portal? What was it like being in there?
Um, I mean, it was relieving for me.
Hmm.
Uh, always, it was always on my mind in the middle of the season.
Hmm.
So, I mean, it wasn't that special. I knew some schools um, that were gonna talk to me at first, just because of the relationship piece. I built a relationship with the coaches before
Hmm.
heading into college. So I think that was a good thing. That was a good plus. So I had confidence going into the transfer portal that I knew schools that knew me before I was at Marquette, knew my game and knew what I bring to the table. So I wasn't really worried about picking a school or schools calling me. So I
Hmm.
mean, I was just really grateful for the opportunity again and having the phone calls and I just can't thank nobody but God, to be honest.
Absolutely. Well, we're gonna get back into Syracuse, why you chose there, and what you're looking forward to in the end. But I want Syracuse fans to get to know you a little bit better, get to learn your story. So, as I said, you are returning home. This is where you grew up in New York, Syracuse, exactly, and kind of walk us through this. Like, what was it like kind of growing up out there?
Um, I mean, so I grew up big family. I have three brothers, three sisters. I'm the second youngest. My family has always been around sports, so that's how I really got into the game of basketball. My three older sisters, just growing up and watching them play basketball made me want to play basketball. It made me want to play just like them. So I
Hmm.
got the love of the game from them. Um, my dad and my mom was a big piece of my life. Always encouraged me to do the right things. Always put me around the right people. Um, I mean, I kind of knew where I wanted to go after like the whole situation.
Hmm.
I mean, I love this city. There's not one thing that I don't like about this city. Um, I like the people. Um, I know a lot of people in the city. I know people want me to succeed and just be that like hometown hero, I guess you can call it.
Hmm.
So I mean, I like being in the city. I love being in the city. That's why I came back. That was like one of my decisions why I came back. My dad used to own a store on Salina Street, so it was like a corner store where everybody used to go. And when I usually was there all the time after school or after practice. So anybody who came around there, I knew. So growing up in that store made me a little more just strict on like what's going on in the streets. So like I
Hmm.
really grew up around violence, to be honest, if you wanted to say that. But I knew where to be and what not to do at the right time. So I mean, I know a bunch of stuff about the city. I know a lot of people. A lot of people know me, and to be honest, I just love my city, and I would never bail on them.
And that's something that's unique because we know that obviously, like you said, you grew up in obviously a rough area where a lot of guys have gone down the wrong path, gone down different things, and you also made it to the point where you obviously gone down the right path. You're playing, having your education paid for, you're going to college and playing basketball at a high level, and have a good chance of playing professionally, someday making money off this too. But how have you kind of learned to balance that? How have you learned growing up to take the right path, stay strong, and still be able to help out the city, still represent it, while also just taking the right path?
I mean, just me growing up, my parents used to always put me around the right people. So,
Hmm.
like I said, that relationship piece is a big part, and like your process when you're growing up into a young man, especially a black young man at this age. So I was grateful to have the right people around me who want me to succeed, and I try to put myself around people who are gonna like encourage me, but not only encourage me, gonna tell me what am I doing wrong at that time. I don't want to be around people who's always gonna tell me good things. Like I want to know the bad things too. Like I want to be that person that you can tell anything to. So I mean, I put myself around a lot of people who I trust and who trust me. So I can say that. Um, just being able to balance that. I mean, it really wasn't that hard. I mean, if you put your mind to it, then you know what you want to do. You obviously know. When you have a lot of people like me that want you to succeed in the city, um, it kind of puts pressure on you, but at the same time, it like motivates you because I see a lot of people looking up to me, younger people, even older people looking up to me. So I look at I look at this as like a great chance of opportunity that God gave me to just seek my talents and just give out information that they need.
That's where we see a lot of guys because we know New York is one of the heavier basketball populated places in terms of guys that make it to not just college, but also the NBA level eventually. And a lot of guys kind of have the same story where it makes that mentality where you obviously have that dog mentality, you have that push to be different than just the average type of kid. How much have you seen the way growing up in that environment kind of helps you produce on the court and become the guy you are now, both on and off the court?
It just made me a stronger person off the court. Um, Made me realize what type of people you can meet in this world. Not everybody's going to be good for you. Not everybody's going to be bad for you, but you got to know each and every person when you meet them. That's why relationships are important. That's why just building a bond with people are important too. You have to be able to read who people are in the moment. You want to put yourself around people who are good for you and good for the environment, to be honest. You never want to put yourself around bad vibes, just bad energy. So I mean, that's what I live on. I try to put myself around positivity, and I try to just bring people up.
You also mentioned your family, and you, like you said, you have a ton of siblings right now. How crazy was that, and how fun was that?
I mean, it was crazy. We're a pretty competitive family at anything we do, uh, not just in basketball, like just conversations. We like to be right all the time. Playing cards, just just being siblings, what siblings do, to be honest. So, I mean, I'm grateful for having a big family, and I mean, I love them. So, I mean, that's not pretty much to say. My siblings had mm, how do I say it? I mean, they had a unique a unique way in my life. My parents as well too. We're all pretty competitive, so I mean that's where I get it from.
Is there one memory that comes to mind when you first think of your siblings? Like, is there one story that you think is kind of the funniest thing that comes to mind with all you guys together?
um, Let me think. Uh, so I'm the second youngest. So
Mhm.
as I was growing up, just a basketball memory, a basketball story. When my sister used to play in high school, two of them used to be on the same team, and one was on a different team. So two went to Nottingham High School, and then one went to Corcoran. Uh,
Mhm.
and when I used to go to either one of those games, I used to be like a little kid that used to always stand up and run on the sideline back and forth, just screaming and just basically encouraging them to like play defense, put their hands up, like certain stuff like that, which is kind of silly. Uh, I think they have a video. I gotta find it. It's been so long, so I mean that story to me is funny because I would have never thought. Like to be honest, I started off as a quiet kid, but like once you get to know me, you're gonna know that I'm goofy and I'm just fun to be around. So
How impactful was that in your life, having a lot of siblings older than you? You kind of got to learn from, watch, especially them also kind of fall on the athletic kind of side. Like, how much did that help you develop as a kid, kind of watching them grow up and kind of go down their path?
I mean, it helped me a lot. Um, Obviously, nobody's perfect, so I saw my siblings do a bunch of wrong things at times, so I knew what not to do. But I also saw them do a bunch of right things, and I mean, just watching them grow up just made me want to be just like them. But they always told me they wanted me to be better than them. So,
Mhm.
but yeah, I just look at it as like, and I try to take whatever they gave me, and I try to give it to my little brother because I'm not the youngest. So you got to carry the tradition and you got to bring it down.
As I said earlier, we know that New York is a heavy basketball state. We know that is the main sport out there. It's what else so many guys dream of playing at the college level, playing at the pro level. What's it like growing up in that aspect when you just get to see all these guys competing, really having basketball be the main sport out there? What's it like being a part of that atmosphere?
Um, it's amazing. I mean, I don't live in New York City, but I
Mhm.
know what, like the atmosphere is like.
Yeah.
Uh, my mom is from there. My grandmother is from there. My mom's family is from New York City, so I know what it's like to be up there. I mean, I never actually played in like the Dykeman and
Hmm.
all of those big tournaments in New York City where it's outside, but I mean, knowing Syracuse, we have a lot of athletes that play basketball, and it's a heavy junkie basketball city. Uh,
Hmm.
Nothing but gym rats, people who always want to be in the gym. So
Growing up, was there a favorite team? Did you have that dream team you wanted to play for? Was that Syracuse? Was it another school? Like, who was that team that when you knew they were playing, you wanted to tune in and watch them on TV?
oh, for sure. It was definitely Syracuse.
Hmm.
Um, I say at my time, like when I was a little kid, I always used to love watching Syracuse. My favorite player was Johnny Flynn. That's why I wear number 10 to this day. Um, he's one of the reasons why. Just, I mean, it's in my backyard, so it's like right up the street. The dome is like right up the street from where I live.
Hmm.
I always used to go to games, so just being able to be in that atmosphere, be a fan, and experience what it's like to be a fan, it always made me want to be on the floor and experience what that's like.
This is jumping a little bit ahead, but you know that you're gonna be able to wear that jersey now. You know that you're gonna be able to wear the team that you've watched growing up, that you've rooted for growing up, and that's a rare thing. There's not many guys that get to go play for the dream school someday. But when that first day comes and you get to see that jersey in the locker room with your name on it, hopefully full of fans in that stadium, like what's gonna go through your mind?
Uh, Nothing but excitement. Uh,
Hmm.
just a dream come true. I tell myself this all the time. And I tell my little brother like, don't ever like doubt your dreams.
Hmm.
Um, Always believe in your dreams. Like they're gonna come true if you put your mind to it. So when I probably first put that jersey on, I'm probably gonna scream like hell yeah or something like that. So I'm gonna be excited. Um, and then from there on out, it's just nothing but work.
Absolutely. Let's kind of go into your high school career a little bit. You obviously spent a lot of your career out at Syracuse Science Academy, and then you obviously make the transition to Vermont Academy. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But throughout your time there at Science Academy, like, what was that like? And kind of take us through why you chose to go play there.
Um, I mean, I had a coach that kind of put his trust in me at a young age. I
Mhm.
played JV my 7th grade year, and then he moved me up to varsity my 8th grade year. So he had a lot of trust in me since I was little, and just being able to play uh, with older guys made me a stronger player on the court, uh, strong minded, and it just made me better. To like, it made me better as it made
Mhm.
me better for experience. Being able to play with older players, knowing that they're going to be stronger than me because I was still in middle school. So
Mhm.
that experience was good. Um, I had my 3 years at Syracuse Academy of Science. I still go back there to this day just to show love and to just say that I support them and stuff like that. So I try to go back there and give the school whatever they need and support and stuff like that. So
That's a rare thing. There's not many kids that are playing high school level basketball as a seventh grader and then eighth grader and getting that experience so early on because you could be playing guys that are nearly 6, 7 years older than you at that point. What was that like and how did you deal with that?
I mean, at first it was a little shaky.
Mhm.
I was a little nervous, obviously, because I never played with older players before. But I mean, like I said, it just made me strong-minded, made me experience things that I never thought I was going to experience. Knowing that I needed to get stronger, knowing that I needed to work on certain things for me to be at that next level. Uh, that's what it was for, and I was grateful to have that experience at a young age.
We know that after you left high school, then you came out, you were a top 50 recruit, you're heavily recruited, like you're this big time player. We all knew who you were. But when did it click for you? Like when did you start realizing, okay, I am a top guy. I think I am one of the best, not the best player in my class. I'm an elite top prospect for the entire country. Like when did that start clicking for you?
I mean, it clicked, but it really didn't at the same
Mhm.
time. Try to not put that in my head that I'm a top player. because I know it's players out there that work just as hard as me or even better. So I'm trying to prove that I can be on that stage too. So every day, every time I wake up, I want to make sure I'm proving somebody wrong or proving somebody right. Um, I never want to stop putting my foot on the gas. But like you said, when was the day that it clicked for me? Probably was around seventh or eighth grade year. Knowing that I can play with older guys made me feel like, okay, like I can do something here. Like if I can play with older guys, then I can just keep it up. I'm already ahead of my class right now. If I'm playing with older guys, now I just need to take that next step, and that was my mindset.
I know we're going to talk about this once again a little bit later with Syracuse, but I know Buddy Boeheim, someone that you also grew up playing with, and Joe on the AAU circuit with City Rocks. When did you start getting to those guys? Like, when did that bond first start? When did you start getting to know those guys?
At a young age, it was this camp at Syracuse. It was called, I don't know what it was called, but Coach Mike Hopkins was leading it, and Buddy was there, and his son Griff Hopkins was there. So I mean, I got to know them at a young age, and we just grew a bond. I knew Joe. When did I first meet? I met Joe seventh grade year AAU. We had went to Pete's Invitational down in South Carolina. Our first time meeting each other, our first time playing with each other. We didn't know what each other's games was like, but I knew he could shoot because I did my research. I just didn't know what else he could do. Yeah, he was a really good player, and I liked playing with him. And that tournament, like the third game in, I had broke my finger, but that didn't really stop like my relationship and my bond with Joe, and it just carried on throughout the years, and we just basically our relationship got better.
You then decided to make a transition for you in high school. You decided to go to Vermont Academy, which we see a lot of guys taking that prep school route, or that's the route where you can go play top competition nearly on a national schedule for you. What was that decision like? Why was Vermont Academy the place you want to go play at?
I knew I needed to get better, and I knew staying in the city of Syracuse wasn't going to make me better. In that moment, I knew I needed to play against good competition every day. So I needed to take a step out of my comfort zone and go to a prep school where there's nothing but basketball and schoolwork. So I wanted to go get to the highest level. I mean, I had low major interest, but I wanted to get to that next level. Like I said, I want those high major offers, and going to prep school really helped.
Now, when you go out there, you really start establishing yourself as that top prospect that we mentioned before. Your first shot there, you averaged 17 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, a steal, lead your team to a lot of wins. How were you able to get comfortable, though? Because you start going out there playing other top competition and you start dominating there, too. How was that kind of helping you in terms of your overall confidence for yourself, but also just your development?
Well, I mean, when you kind of work at your game every day, you're gonna get confident from that, and you gain confidence from your work ethic, and you also gain confidence from your teammates. And at Vermont Academy, my teammates gave me a lot of confidence and a lot of trust that the ball needs to be in my hands and I need to make the right decisions for us to win. And I was grateful for that.
Your second year is really where you establish yourself, though. You get first team All New England. You had a school record 37 charges that season. And that's what I really want to focus in on, because a lot of guys aren't going to take that, especially guys that are top ranked players like yourself. What led to you, though, doing that? Like, what leads you to want to be a guy that sacrifices your body, will take 37 charges in a season? Like, what's led to you being that type of player?
Just going back a little bit in time, when I said I used to watch my three sisters play basketball, and I got the game from them. So when I saw them take a charge, I was like, okay, like I can do that too. Also, when I was in high school, my high school coach at Syracuse Academy of Science, Coach Honor, he used to tell me that sacrificing your body is a next level step. The coaches love that. So I just told myself, why not sacrifice your body for the team, and it just gives you nothing but like energy, and it gives the team energy. Um, it just shows that you have a winning mentality and you just want to win.
Define it a little bit more because winning mentality is clearly a critical thing. We know Coach Boeheim is going to want that, and that's what all of his players end up getting. But what exactly is a winning mentality to you? What is your winning mentality, and what does a winning mentality look like?
A winning mentality to me is whatever it takes. No matter what your role is that night, you got to be a star in your role, whether that's facilitating for me one game and not scoring that many points, or scoring a lot of points that game and getting a lot of rebounds. Like whatever that role is, I have to be a star in my role, and I have to do whatever it takes for the team. So if that's getting a lot of 50-50 balls, that's getting a lot of 50-50 balls. If that's like just communicating and being a vocal leader, then that's that. So whatever it takes is basically a winning mentality.
We're getting to Marquette and your career out there soon, but a lot of time we see that you being the top 50 recruit, you probably want to go in and start a lot, play right away. That wasn't obviously the case, which we'll talk about in a second, but how are you able to still stay confident in yourself and still kind of keep a high attitude, still be a great locker room presence, still be a guy that would sacrifice his body no matter what, even though you look at it and you say, okay, this is not the situation I want to be in. This is not the amount of minutes I want. How are you able to still contribute to the team and still keep a positive mindset, or at least display a positive mindset?
I can say it was hard, uh, knowing that you put a lot of work in, and uh, that time comes and you don't get the opportunity to play at any moment. It was hard, but I mean, being able to have that bond with your teammates and still get in the gym and work and still have that confidence, talking to your family, talking to your friends at home, and just getting that confidence from them helps you really. So I would say having the conversations with different people, and making sure like I'm still in the gym. I'm not being lackadaisical, knowing that my situation was that I wasn't getting in the game a lot.
Then comes down to your recruiting process, and this is kind of a hectic time for you to start obviously reclass up a year to go to 2019. By the time you're looking at all those offers, you had offers from all over the country. Obviously, Syracuse, you had an offer from. You had Dayton, you had Maryland, VCU, Vanderbilt. Like the list goes on as offers you had. How was Marquette able to separate themselves? How was that the school that originally landed you?
Well, I mean, on my official visit, they really stood out to me. Coach Dwayne Killings was the coach that was recruiting me for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Started recruiting me when he was at UConn, and when he left, he never stopped recruiting me, to be honest. So when he went to Marquette, he really recruited me. And when I took my official visit there, it was just nothing but like a family bond with him. And when I met the players, it felt like they were family. I mean, shout out to Greg Elliott, Jamal Kane, and Theo John. They were the guys that really took care of me that one day on my official, and really just brought me in as their younger brother. So knowing that you have guys like that, you want to be in a program where you're going to be taken care of, and being able to put yourself around people that are good to you.
So you get out there that first year and you go through the reclass process, which is kind of difficult with some guys because you could still be at a high school level, but you decide to make the jump to college that year. How do you adjust so quickly to all of a sudden go from high school to college just like that when you could have still been in college for another year?
Um, wasn't that bad of an adjustment. I'm not gonna say it was easy, but I mean the speed of the game is obviously different. College is a lot faster paced, but once you dive deep inside film and really understand what's going on the floor, it's gonna slow down for you. So it wasn't that big of a jump. Obviously, a point guard as myself, you have to learn a lot of things in a little bit of time, and I was willing to do that.
You being a point guard and the guy in front of you is a guy that I don't think there's too many guys in the country you could have possibly had better than to learn from Markus Howard. He clearly was the best point guard in the country last year, and in my opinion, probably one of the better point guards ever to play the game of college basketball. But you just get around a guy that I know is a strong leader, a guy that is clearly dominant, broke all these kind of records. What was like learning from that guy for a year?
Nothing but great experience,
Mm-hmm.
and just having a big brother like him. Not only on the court, he taught me a lot of things off the court as well. Um, we still talk to this day. We still have that relationship piece. But he's nothing but like a brother that you can't ask for.
Mm-hmm.
He's always there for you. On the court, he's a very hard working player. He's always in the gym, and he gets a lot of shots up. So I mean, he's a great learning leader to follow um, in so many different ways. I mean, words can't even say what I want to say right now because he's he's had that big of an impact on me, and I'm just grateful to be that brother to him, that younger brother, and still have his heart.
I've had a couple other Marquette players that are with him on that team discuss him. I've had Coach Johnson and also had Coach Killings discuss him too before. And everyone always talks about he didn't get the attention he probably deserved. Obviously, he's a top 20 all-time scorer, and he didn't get his tournament run for his final senior year. He obviously is a guy that established himself in all over the record books everywhere. But I don't think he got anywhere near the attention he probably deserved. But you guys in the locker room, you see the dude that's dominating, leading the country in pretty much scoring nonstop, doing the things he was as remarkable in doing. What was his mentality towards that? And how are you guys kind of reacting when you guys saw them not get the attention he deserved?
And it was a sad moment for all the seniors. And just knowing how much work that Marcus put in, and I'm not gonna say it didn't pay off because he obviously got where he wanted to be, but it's a very sad moment. Still to this day, I think about if that situation never happened, what would have happened. So, definitely didn't get what he deserved. I can say he's still talking to him to this day. That didn't like discourage him or put him down. He was obviously devastated and sad about ending the year short, but he just knew that God was going to lead him into the right direction.
Mm-hmm. You look back on that 1 year. What's the first memory that comes to mind when you think about Marcus?
First memory that comes to mind with me and Marcus.
Mm-hmm.
First memory. I don't know. We got a lot of memories. I'll say when we were overseas, we weren't roommates, but we kind of felt like we was roommates because we was always next to each other on the bus. We was always playing Uno. So I say like the Uno vibes. He was always competitive in that. He still sucks. So playing Uno with him overseas and sitting next to him and just enjoying his company as a brother.
Now, overall in that year, you guys are a deep team. You guys probably would have made the tournament run last year, 18-12 overall for the record. How special was that team? What was it just kind of learning from that group as a freshman?
Man, that group was a special group. We were just getting to like where we wanted to be exactly. We had so many different pieces that were basically it fit with everybody. We had different pieces. I can't really explain it, but we just had a lot of different pieces, and I learned from each and every guy. Yeah.
In that locker room last year, who would you say was the funniest guy?
Okay, I'll do it in order. I'll go. Man, they're gonna hate me for this when they see me. I'll put Ed Morrill at number 1. Then I'll put Jamal at 2. Then Sakar at 3. Those are my top 3.
All right, then. How was this past year then?
The past year, who was the funniest?
Mm-hmm.
Definitely Justin Lewis, my roommate. No question. He's the funniest person. He's the funniest person. Him, Jose Perez. It was that New York vibe from him.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely those 2.
Mm-hmm. So you're gonna make the starting lineup like the funniest possible guys out there. Who would you say like your starting lineup from your 2 years at Marquette? Then who's your funniest starting lineup?
My funniest starting lineup.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm gonna put Ed, Sack, Jamal, Justin, and I gotta put Jose just because. Yeah, I'm gonna put Jose.
Without though. And so then this whole transition comes and the whole lockdown goes into effect and you have pretty much 4, 5, 6 months of being locked in, no gym access unless you had a private one and whatnot. But what was your mentality when you knew that you had times to work on your craft? What were you really working on, keying in on to improve on for your sophomore campaign?
Man, I loved it, to be honest. Everybody hated it, but me personally, I loved it because it was a time where I could focus on myself. You don't get that much time to focus on yourself, especially in college basketball. Like you're always on campus, you're always with the team,
Yep.
and you don't get that much time to focus on yourself. So I mean, when I got home, I focused on a lot of things, just building my strength back up, finding ways where I can improve in my speed. Uh, my teammates always talk about how I'm so fast and quick. I want to still improve on that. Um, those are the main two factors. Obviously, on the court, it was my shooting consistency. Um, to this day, I'm still getting up 500 shots.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, I still work on the stuff that I'm always good at, which is passing, handling the ball, and just being that floor general. So, I mean, those things were really good, really good.
Now we do know, as I said, your freshman year, you go in there, you're behind Marcus, and you knew that guy was obviously locked in the starting point guard job no matter what. But then he obviously moves on. He's going to the NBA, he graduates, and y'all know your expectation probably was, okay, this is my team now. Now I can become that starting point guard, maybe even combo guard. But what was kind of your thoughts on that? Like, you obviously did bring in DJ to come in, they bring out other guys too, but how are you kind of fighting for that spot, and what was it like preparing for this upcoming year?
Um, so I had an edge to me that summer.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I wanted to prove that that spot was mine, and I worked hard for it. But obviously, that wasn't the outcome. I mean, I'm not mad about it. Disappointed. I mean, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Can't really say much about it, but I mean, when you have a guy like me on your team, I'm not saying this to be selfish or anything, but when you have a guy like me on your team, you don't just play me 3 or 4 minutes. To be honest, I deserve to play more than that because I feel like I can do whatever it takes to win. Um, and I can play with anybody. It doesn't matter who I play with. To be honest, you can have three other point guards out on the floor with me, and I'll still do fine. To be honest, I just wished I played more,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, it is what it is. I'm on to the next, and just can't wait to get started.
That's what you just said is really key about you, which I like about your game because you are a point guard, you come guard, whatever, but you can honestly run if you want to be theoretically the three because you can just run off ball or whatnot. Like you can pretty much you can just put you in the game and you don't really need a position to your name because you know that you're the defensive player, you're gonna be a pass. You can pretty much guard anybody on the perimeter, even be switched on a big man, something that you could handle that, as well as also score. You can score off the dribble, catch and shoot. You can do a lot of stuff on your game. How have you learned to become that versatile where you can be a guy that can just go into the game, run whatever position, and really be successful at that?
Well, like I said, it goes just back to whatever it takes. And I watch a lot of basketball, so I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I don't just watch the point guard spots. I watch the shooting guards, the small forwards, the power forwards, even the center. Like
Mm-hmm.
in high school, I used to post up a lot, so I had some post moves. So like I had an overall game coming out of high school, and I knew certain spots. I knew what the floor should look like when we're on the fast break. I knew that stuff, and that just came from me watching basketball a lot. So that's where my IQ really came in.
Mm-hmm.
Me being around the game of basketball, me watching it, me asking just random questions um, about it. So
Well, take us through that then. When you sit down for a game, you want to go watch some film, watch some guys in the NBA. Who are those guys? Like, what's your list of some guys that you like watching? Maybe one guy at each position, or like just who's some guys you really like watching to take pieces from?
um, I mean, there's a ton of guys. I mean, obviously LeBron,
Yeah.
his his IQ, his floor general making. Uh, gotta watch Kevin Durant. You gotta watch all these all stars because they have something unique that nobody else has.
Mm-hmm.
But as a point guard standpoint, I watched Drew Holiday.
Mm-hmm.
His performance on both sides of the floor is amazing to me, and I feel like I play similar to him. Not as similar, but I feel like I have some type of similarity to him. John Wall, Chris Paul, Russell Westbrook is my favorite player. I watch him a lot. Um, you got the young guys that come in like John Morant, um, um, and so on and so forth. But I watch kind of those guys. Obviously, you got to watch the the old guys. Not saying they're old, but the guys that were in the league are not in the league no more. Kobe Bryant, RIP to him. Got to watch his footwork, his work ethic. Um, Obviously, I just said LeBron James, Michael Jordan. You have to watch. You have to watch him. Um, I watch a lot of players, to be honest.
Now, last thing about Marquette I want to touch up on is there was a couple of guys that walked in this past year that were freshmen that were taking really the nation by storm. One was Dawson, who actually produced at a high level, got a lot of awards. Justin's someone that had shown a lot of flashes. I think when he gets the opportunity to, he's going to flourish into becoming a star at Marquette too. But those two special guys walk in. Like, what were your thoughts on them? And just kind of just discuss those two guys. Like, what's it like being around Dawson, Justin? How bright are those two guys' future?
They're definitely a lottery pick. Um, their work ethic, their size, their skill, they bring something to the team that you would never expect. Dawson, his shot making, his efficiency, really, he can do anything on the floor. He can handle the rock, set screens, he can roll, he can post up. Um, when he wants to play defense, he can play defense. Uh, for him, the sky's the limit. For him, he's got it. For Justin, who knows what he can become? I see him as one of the all stars in the NBA. To be honest, his body and just how he moves on the floor is unique to me. Um, he's really explosive. I don't think people know how actually explosive he is. I hope he gets to show that next season. He can definitely make the three. He didn't have a good percentage last year, but he's definitely capable of making the three at a high percentage. Can definitely handle the ball. Elite rebounder, elite finisher. And sky's the limit for both of those guys. I would just wish them nothing but the best. Glad I got to play with both of them.
No, that was heading to Syracuse stuff now because as we talked about earlier, the English in the portal, you get a lot of offers, you get a lot of interest, talks to a lot of people. Ultimately, though, you come on home. You decide to take Syracuse this time around. How could Boeheim win you over?
Um, it's kind of weird. This is a great story to tell. Can't wait to tell it more. So like 2 days after they had lost to Houston in the NCAA tournament, I had text Buddy personally myself, and I had told him, I'm very interested to come back home. I don't know what the situation with you guys are, and who's leaving, who's not, but I just wanted to let you know, Buddy, that I want to play with you, beside you, and help you go deeper into the tournament. And then I won't say personally what he said, but it just led to Boeheim calling me, and he told me that he had interest in me. I just had to wait, to be honest, to see what was the situation. What was the situation? Excuse me. Who was coming in? Who was coming out? Mm-hmm. I just had to just wait for my opportunity, and soon enough, that opportunity came, and I just took whatever that was immediately, to be honest. And when he called, he just asked me. It was funny. He was like, "Sai, correct me if you're wrong. You do want to come here?" And I told him yes, absolutely. And I can just hear his wife Julie and Buddy in the background just screaming, and it was a happy moment for me. And I'm gonna cherish that moment forever.
Once again, this is the special thing because you're coming home now. You get to be around family, you get to be around friends, all people you got to grow up with. They come support you from the city. And on top of that, it's not like this is a team that's not very good. It's a team that's going to be competing next year. I think easy guys would be national contenders in terms of looking at all the guys that could bring back with Buddy playing the way he just played and all this entire team. How special can you guys be though? Because like I said, you're bringing back Buddy, who just was maybe the hottest guy in the country for this past couple months now. Joe, I mean, everyone's pretty much come back. That was a key part, except for maybe Kadar, who you're replacing at a high level too. How special can this team be, though?
This team could be really good as long as we put the work in, put our minds to it, and to be honest, just work together. To be honest, can't wait to get started with them. We can go really, really far into the tournament. Sky's the limit for us. Can't wait.
So when do you plan on being able to get to the campus then? Are you going to start working out like June time, or when do you guys kind of target date to get out there and start working out?
I think it's around June for me. I'm going to start being on campus and being able to work out with the guys.
Since last year didn't really count towards eligibility, you still do have 3 years remaining. So what's all the things you really want to get done there? I mean, this is going to be a 3-year span where you're going to be able to grow and become something special. But what's your personal goal? Like, what do you want to achieve for yourself in the next 3 years?
Just be able to play my game, be that floor general, be able to make mistakes, but not too many mistakes, but make mistakes and not come out the game. Having that trust with Coach Boeheim, that coaches player relationships where he's coaching me hard, and I'm taking that and I'm being coachable. That goes for all the assistant coaches as well, Coach Autry, Coach GMAC. But yeah, going in, whatever it takes, like I said, and playing my game. Can't wait to show that to the world.
You know the signature defense out there, the 2-3 zone. How excited are you to be a part of that defense?
I'm excited to learn from it a lot. We played it a little bit at Marquette, and we had Coach Jake Pursuti, who came from Syracuse as a walk-on, so he knows a little bit about the 2-3. But just excited to actually learn it and learn the key things inside the 2-3 defense. I know I'm going to fit well into it with my length and my speed and my quickness, so can't wait to learn that.
At the end of the day, you are being coached by debatably one of the better coaches ever to coach this game before, and Coach Boeheim. We know all the records, everything that guys accomplished and achieved as a coach. What's it going to be like being coached by a guy of that status, a coach of that caliber?
Amazing. Going down as one of the best coaches in college basketball. That experience is going to be tradition forever. I can't wait to get started with him and learn a lot from him. I mean, he coached a lot of guys who are in the Hall of Fame now. He knows a lot about basketball. I want to take whatever information he's going to give me. I want to take all that information and bring it to my game.
Absolutely, man. Well, a few more things before I let you go. One of which is something you have in your Twitter bio, and that's good vibes only. Take us through that. Like, what does that mean to you, and discuss that a little bit.
So I have a sister who is very good friends with a person who has a company named Good Vibes Only. And I just cherish that wherever I go. I never want to be around negativity. And he has like his company, and it's really good. It's nice. It's blowing up. Obviously the brand is Good Vibes Only. He has like the beer and the heart. He's doing a lot of good things with it and different things with it, which is unique. I like about it. But that's me. That's my motto. Good vibes only. I don't want to be around negativity. Always positively. I want to carry that wherever I go.
Without a doubt, man. Well, I was like wrapping discussing your legacy, and that's something I know all guys ultimately want to achieve for themselves. So we know your next chapter now. You got 3 years left at Syracuse, then you want to play basketball, I'm assuming, after that somewhere. But when you do step away from this game someday, when that day does come, you walk away from the game, what do you want to remember for what you achieved both on and off the court?
Off the court, I just want to be able to be that player on and off the court who gives just be able to be a hometown hero. I want to be that kid who has people looking up to me, older or younger. I want to be a role model to everybody, not only people that I look up to. I want to be a role model to everybody.
Absolutely. And being a believer, discuss your faith a little bit. Like, how have you seen God impact your life and help get you to where you're at today?
It's a blessing. Praying every day helps. Talking to him every day helps. I want to be where I am today without him. I thank him on my worst days. I also thank him on my best days. I got to carry that with me throughout my life. And I got to know without him, there is no me. So.
Where would you say has been the biggest moment you've seen God show up in your life so far?
Every day, to be honest. I'm thankful for him waking me up. It's not really a big moment to me. It's not really, I don't have a one big moment that he has shown up in my life. I felt like he is there every day of my journey, and I'm thankful for that.
Amen, man. Well, my final thing for you, give Syracuse fans the one word that you define yourself by. What's the one thing that they can expect from you?
Smiley. Yeah, smiley. If I'm not on the court smiling, that means I'm not having fun. So expect me to smile a lot when I'm on the floor and have fun. Maybe a couple of dance moves here and there after a good dunk from one of my teammates or me. So.
Absolutely, man. Well, I definitely appreciate you taking time to come on today, and congrats on the commitment once again, man. And I look forward to seeing what God's got next for you, man.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Coach, always welcome on, man. God bless.
God bless you too.